This video is going to be on least common multiples. The least common multiple of any two numbers is the smallest number that they both divide into evenly. One good way to find the least common multiple of any two numbers is to multiply them, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and then find the first multiple that appears in both of the lists. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's start with number 10 or number 1 and do 10. So we have 10. We're going to write all the multiples of it, or all the multiples of it. So we do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's just stop there and see what we get. So let's do 3. So what we're looking for when we do 3 is the first number that appears in this list of 10, we can stop. So we do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, do 6 times 3 is 18, 7 times 3 is 21, 8 times 3 is 24, 9 times 3 is 27, 10 times 3 is 30. Well, we can stop there because they both have 30 that appear in both. So our least common multiple of 10 and 3 is 30. I'm going to write that in blue. We have 30. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can just move this over. That way it doesn't interfere with number 2. Okay, number 2, let's do 14. So we have 14. 14 times 2 is 28. 14 times 3 gives us 42. Let's go ahead and stop there. Do 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 gives us 30. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 7 gives us 42. Well, we can stop there because they already both share 42. So our least common multiple for 14 and 6 is going to give us 42. Number 3. The numbers for this one are 15 and 6. So what we're going to do is go ahead and write 15 and 6 again, and then find the multiples of each. So it's going to put 15. We have 15, 30, 45, 60. Let's go ahead and stop there. Try it with 6. So we have 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 gives us 18, 6 times 4, 24, and 6 times 5 gives us 30. We can stop because we know that they both share a 30 here. So our final answer for number 3 is 30. Okay, number 4. 15 and 20. So let's go ahead and put 15 first. We have 15, 30, 45, 60. Just stop there. Do it with 20. We have 20, 40, 60. We can stop because they both already share a 60. So the least common multiple for 15 and 20 is 60. Number 5. 27 and 18. So we're going to put 27. Go ahead and write down all the factors for this. So we can do 27. 27 times 2 gives us 54. 27 times 3 gives us 82. 81. Okay, stop there. See what we get for 18. So we get 18. Put the colons. We get 18. 18 times 2 is 36. 18 times 3 gives us 54, and we can stop there because they both share 54, so we're done with that. Least common multiple for this is 54. Number 6, 4 and 30. So let's go ahead and do 4. We get 4, 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. Keep adding 4, we get 32. Let's go ahead and write it down right below it. 32 plus 4 gives us 36. Plus another 4 gives us 40. Plus another 4, 44. 48. 52. 56. And 60. So let's go ahead and stop there. Let's try 30. We get 30. 4 doesn't have a common factor of 30. You can look here between the 28 and the 32. It's not in between there, so we have to continue. Do 60. Well, they both share 60, so we found the least common multiple for 4 and 30 is 60. Okay, number 7. So let's take a look at the 24. So we're going to write 24, write all the multiples for that. So we know that we're going to have 24 for the first one. 24 times 2 gives us 48. Add 24 to that, we end up getting 72. We can go ahead and stop there for now. Let's see what we get for 32. We get 32, 64. 64 plus 32 gives us 96. So we have to continue with the 24. 72 plus 24, we end up getting 96 there. And that's where we get our least common multiple for 96. Okay, number 8. 20 and 30. So let's go ahead and do the 20. We end up getting 20, 40, 60, 80. Stop there, check what we get for 30. We end up getting 30, 60, and we can stop because they already both share 60. So number 8, our final answer is 60. Number 9, 24 and 36. So let's go ahead and do the 24, and we can use what we did in number 7 for this one to help us out. So we do 24, 48, 72, 96. Now let's look at 36. We do 36. 36 times 2 gives us 72, and we can stop there because we have 72 for both. So 72 is our final answer for number 9. Okay, number 10. Start with 35. We get 35, 70, 105, 140. Let's go ahead and stop there and see what we get for 25. So we get 25, 50, 75, 100. Nothing so far, so we have to continue. 125, 150, 175. Let's go ahead and stop there, see what we get back on 35. 140 plus 35 gives us 175, and that's where we get our least common multiple of 175. Okay, number 11. What we want to do is the same thing. Now we have variables, but let's focus on the numbers and then we'll deal with the variables. So number 11, let's break down that 18. We get 18. 18 times 2 is 36. Add 18 to that, we get 54. Add 18 to that, we end up getting 72. Add another 18 to that, we get 90. So now let's look at the 15. We do 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90. We can stop there because they already have the 90s. So we're done with that. Now let's look at the variables. So the 18xy squared has an x in it. The 15y cubed does not have an x in it. So we take what variables they share and put the highest exponent as part of our final answer, meaning the 18 has an x in it. So the 18xy squared has one x in it. So if we look at that as x to the first power, and we look at the 15y cubed as having x to the 0 power, this x to the first power is the higher of the variable, the higher of the exponents. So we use that in our final answer. So I'm just going to write it over here until we get our final answer. So now let's look at the y's. The 18y squared has y squared as the exponent for the y's, and the 15y cubed has y to the third power. Because the 3 is a greater number than y squared, we're going to use y to the third power for our final answer. So let's go ahead and write everything else down. We end up getting 90xy cubed. Okay, number 12. So let's look at the 20. So we get 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Let's go ahead and stop there and see what we get for the 16. So we get 16. 16 times 1 is 16. 16 times 2 gives us 32. Plus another 16 gives us 48. Plus another 16 gives us 64. 64 plus 16 gives us 80, and that's where we get our 80 for that. But now we have to still look at the variables. So we have x cubed for the 20x cubed and x to the fourth for 16x to the fourth. Because this is this is a greater exponent, meaning the 4 is greater than the 3, that's what we're going to use for our final greatest common factor. So let's go ahead and erase that and write down that 80x to the fourth as our final answer. And again, this is least common multiples.